And I want to tell America this. One of the single kindest human beings I've ever met in my life. We argue somewhat, but only when he's wrong about hoops. He's the great Chris Broussard. Chris, how's it going, my man? How are you?
I'm great. I don't think we've ever had an argument then. You get that?
Oh, I get it. That's funny. All right, speaking of things you're wrong about, I listed I think Bleacher Report did the top 25 players in the NBA under 25 years old. I gave my top 10. Off the top of my head, I think I had Luka 1, of course, Zion 2, Ja 3. It then gets a little tougher. Donovan Mitchell, I believe, 4. Jayson Tatum, 6. I know you took some issue with some of my placement. What's your issue with what honestly is an unimpeachable list by me?
Well, first of all, Zion is way too high. I love his potential like everybody else, but people are overlooking the warts in his game. Number one, he doesn't defend at all. And I get it. These guys are young. A lot of them don't defend. But his defense is horrible. And he's not rebounding like he should be. He's giving me 6 rebounds a game. I need more than that. He's somewhat, he's great in the post. He's obviously a quick jumper, and that's his strength. But, he doesn't have a ton of moves down there. He's always spinning to his left. We know what he's going to do. He obviously doesn't shoot the 3 that yet. So I'm saying to have him second right now is way too high, and Jayson Tatum is way too low. My top 5 would be Zion at number 5. Karl Anthony Towns. How much are you disrespecting Karl Anthony Towns? This guy gives you 25 and 10 a night, if not 11. I know he doesn't defend much, but he's a 40% career shooter from 3. He is still under 25, so he's number 4 on my list. Ja Morant. In a point guard league, this guy has taken a team that last year, it's essentially the same team that was horrible last year, and he's got them in the playoffs in the West. His numbers are great. He plays good defense. And then number 2 is Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Is this just go along with your hate Celtics narrative or what? What is your problem with Jayson Tatum? He shoots the 3 ball outstanding. He's great in the mid-range. His handle is great. He can finish at the rim over anybody. He's long and rangy so he can defend. He plays within the Celtics system. Like, what's not to love about Jayson Tatum?
Nothing. He's awesome. That's why he's the 6th best guy under 25. But hold on, I gotta address so many things you just said there. First, let me start.
You got Luka right. I'll give you that.
Let me start with Zion, Broussard. You said all these things he can't do. Oh, he's not doing this well enough. He doesn't do this well enough. He averages almost a point a minute on 59% shooting. He's scoring 24 a game. It's not projection. If he never improves, Broussard, if this is who he is the rest of his life, if he's 24-7 on 60% shooting, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. So the Zion thing's crazy. Karl Anthony Towns.
Hold on.
Here's the thing with Towns.
24-7 is a first ballot Hall of Famer? If he was a center, if a big man who usually shoots 60% from the floor and give me 20 points, but we're only giving me 7 rebounds, how's that outstanding? I need more.
Okay. All right. Listen, you're wrong, but that's fine. And I don't know, maybe you just don't like Zennials. You're anti-19-year-old something. It's insane. Towns was the hardest one to slot, and I'll be quick here. Towns' numbers say he should be number 2. I mean, he was 27-11 a few years ago, 41% from 3, as you mentioned. The problem is his teams stink, and his teammates seem to hate him. I don't know how to wrap my arms around that. Like, the one time they were good was when Jimmy Butler was there, and Jimmy Butler left and despised him, it would appear. So that's my only issue with Towns. But as far as Tatum, can we please... Tatum's fine. In fact, he's more than fine. Just one player of the month. He's really, really good. Can we please assign all this love Jayson Tatum's getting and give it to the guy who deserves it in Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell, who has been the best or second best player on a playoff team every year of his career. Donovan Mitchell, who once again is going about his business, being the go-to guy on what might be a 50-win team. Donovan Mitchell, who his rookie season in a closeout playoff game against Paul George and Russell Westbrook scored 38 points to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. All this disrespect for Donovan Mitchell. Jayson Tatum is having a really, really nice season, and he is potentially a future star. But all 5 guys ahead of him, Simmons, Mitchell, Ja, Zion, and Luka, 4 of them are better than him right now. Ja is not better than him yet, but I think will be. I mean,
Zion's
to me,
better than
this
him
is
right
easy.
now? Zion is better than Jayson Tatum
absolutely.
right now. Nick,
Yes.
there's more to the
Yes, he
game
is.
than just scoring. And scoring in one way. No, Tatum's much more versatile than Zion. And I like Donovan Mitchell. I'm not, everything you said is true. I like my guys a little more efficient. He can be a bit of a volume shooter at times. And so I clearly think Jayson Tatum is much better than him. Wrapping out my top 10, because I saw your list, Mitchell 6, Trae Young 7, Devin Booker 8, Ben Simmons is falling. He's number 9, and Brandon Ingram 10. Regrets to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, I'd have De'Aaron Fox in there, but we don't have to get into it anymore. Zion, I actually think is an excellent off-ball defender, but let's not get lost in the weeds there anymore. Let's talk about a list. Yeah, let's talk about a list we agree on, which is the 4 greatest college basketball players of all time are Lou Alcindor, Bill Walton, Oscar Robertson, and Bill Russell. And listen, these kids voted Michael Jordan number 1. You don't think they should have, and I give you credit for that because Jordan's not even in the top 20 college basketball players of all time. But you do understand this is partially your fault, right? Because you have been part of spreading the gospel of Jordan. He never lost. He never lost. He's the greatest this. He's the greatest that. He was playing baseball while scoring 55 a game. You understand that the reason Jordan won this poll is partially because of your propaganda, right, Broussard?
I tell the truth, Nick Wright, and you know that. Michael Jordan is the GOAT, period, the end. But he's not even in the conversation for college's best player of all time. I'll give you that. But how in the world is talking about Michael Jordan's greatness as an NBA player make me responsible for this? His greatness as an NBA player is unimpeachable, Nick. I know you don't want to go down this route of arguing LeBron and Michael because I've beaten you on that several times. I don't want to do it again because I love you.
It's not about LeBron. It's just about telling the full story of Jordan. Yeah, he never missed the playoffs, but those first 3 years in the league when they made the playoffs, they were below 500, including a year they won 30 games, were 30-52 and made the playoffs, and he was 1-9 in his career in the playoffs before Scotty got there. It's telling the story that the Bulls wouldn't have won 8 straight because we know that because they got beat by the Magic in the playoffs. It's just telling the full story. That's all. But quickly, before you go,
wouldn't you admit that him playing a year and a half of baseball and then coming back and playing 17 games in the NBA, he was not even close to his best? Wouldn't you admit that? I don't hold the
I do.
Second round against him.
I know. No, I would admit that. And listen, I'm weird. I just prefer for my greatest athletes in the history of their sport to actually play their sport uninterrupted and not quit twice before actually retiring. But that's me. Listen, I'm odd like that. Maybe you'd like LeBron more if he stopped for a year and went and tried to play on the PGA Tour and then came back. But that's just me. I'd love to get to these other things, but I can't. You were wrong too often, so we argued too much. Broussard and Rob Parker. It is an extraordinary radio show, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern, Fox Sports Radio and iHeartRadio. You can see him all over television, except for he refuses to come on my show anymore. I don't know why.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.